things are just meant to be. But right here, right now, baby, I've never felt so free.
Another episode of the Ryan Beck Show. Now here's a funny little insider story. I just did like 4.5 minutes of the show I was going to do. And I did a joke that probably would have ruined my life. And magically, because God has the final say, the video cut off, and that was probably him letting me know, hey, don't do that joke. That'll ruin your life. Okay, so here we are. What a day today. Can you believe it? Spencer Jones, first of all, hasn't recorded an out since spring training started. That's exciting. Juan Soto's a Yankee. Hit a home run off the scoreboard. That's exciting. We got all sorts of fun stuff going on in Yankee universe. Now here's what the skinny is right now. Everyone wants to know about Blake Snell. Is he going to be a Yankee? I'll tell you this much. I'd like him, but not if he hinders our ability to re-sign Soto long term. That's no hot take, obviously. I'm not special. But I want Blake Snell. If we can get him, and if Hal has just decided it's a new reign and he doesn't care about the luxury tax, he just wants to put a great team out and have, seats behind home plate be $2,000 a piece, good on me. Let's go. I'm on board with Blake Snell. I'm bracing for Luke Weaver being our 5th starter when Carlos Rodon tears his ACL peeling an orange. All right, let's dive in. My theme today is what to look for in this spring training. Now, there's obvious things that don't even need to be worried about. No one's like, I wonder if Judge and Soto will be any good. No, we know. They're going to hit second and third. Stanton's the DH. Rizzo's at first. Glaber's at second. There's nothing worth discussing there. We already know how that's going to go. These are the things that are going to make or break this spring training. Now, here's the first one I want to keep an eye on. Alex Verdugo. First of all, I'm going to circle back to Blake Snell quickly. I have a question for all of you. Why do you guys like Jack Curry? He sat on a stool like a pretentious fool on the last post game of the year telling you you're not getting Juan Soto. And we got Juan Soto. He doesn't have any sources anymore. You know who his sources were? Cashman. When Cashman drove the whole team by himself, Curry was the one prepping you for the terror you're about to deal with, where you're tied up in the back of someone's car, and then Jack Curry opens it and goes, hey, listen, this is your new family. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, he's your shortstop. Listen, you don't want Corey Seager. Trust me, it's not happening. You want Josh Donaldson. That's the guy for you, all right? Anthony Rizzo's way better than Freddie Freeman, all right? Now turn that frown upside down. You lead a new life now. These are the new Yankees. You shouldn't like Jack Curry. He's not your friend. You should like Jeff Passan. He says we're getting Blake Snell, basically. He said it's us or the Angels, and we make more sense. Jeff Passan's like by far the most trustworthy guy. I don't know why all of a sudden everyone's losing their mind because Jack Curry said we're not getting him. Yeah, he's a Cashman's puppet. It's impressive that he can come out and tell us that there's no chance we're getting Blake Snell while Brian Cashman's drinking a glass of water. So let's dive into my theme today. What to look for in spring training. Now the obvious stuff, as I was saying, Judge, Soto, Garrett Cole, yeah. Here's the things to look for. Who performs better in the leadoff spot, Alex Verdugo or DJ LeMahieu? Because we already know basically 2 through 5, 2 through 6, whatever the order is basically going to be some combination of Judge, Soto, Stanton, Rizzo, Glaber. So now, who's going to lead this lineup off? You could make a solid argument it should be Glaber. He's probably better than both of them. I'm arguing that, by the way. Glaber should just be hitting leadoff. It should just be Glaber, Soto, Judge, Rizzo. That's my opinion, but who's asking me? Am I right, folks? Okay. Verdugo versus DJ, though. That's my point. Who performs better? Verdugo led off a 2-run inning with a double down the right field line. Soto, ground ball to the right side, moves Verdugo to third. Judge drives him in. And then Rizzo, I think, doubled down the right field line. And then Glaber had an RBI ground out. it was small ball. 2 runs, no home runs. I mean, eventually Soto hit one off the scoreboard, but we manufactured runs, so it's really just a matter of, as of right now, who is going to sit atop that lineup on opening day? Is it going to be Alex Verdugo? Is it going to be DJ LeMahieu? I think eventually your goal is that Anthony Volpe takes a big leap this year, and then you can have Volpe hitting 1. And then my idea is eventually you have Dominguez 2, and then Soto 3, Judge 4. Wouldn't that be unbelievable, folks? Okay, so here's some other stuff to look for. The catching position. Now, what I'm seeing this spring, I mean, you're seeing Austin Wells catch Garrett Cole. Today, Austin Wells went to Clearwater to catch Stroman. And to me, what that tells me is the Yankees just see Wells as the starter. And they want him to be able to catch all 5 starters. There's no Trevino is Cole's personal catcher. They want Austin Wells to get as much playing time as humanly possible. That's what I'm seeing. I'm also not hearing any updates about Trevino healing. And Ben Rortvedt is out of options. So to me, until I hear otherwise, to me, Jose Trevino is going to start the year on the IL. Maybe I'm wrong. And Ben Rortvedt's the backup. And Ben Rortvedt, and I don't mean to speak out of turn, but Ben Rortvedt sucks. So you want Austin Wells to play as much as humanly possible, which is what I'm picking up from spring training so far. Here's another thing to look out for. Middle infield. Not Glaber. We know he's going to be at second base every year. But if Glaber, as we know, started off spring training by saying he wants to be a Yankee forever. Now, one way to make that pretty easy is if Peraza and Vivas aren't very good. Because if they're not very good, then you're just waiting on, I can't think of the name of the guy the guy in rookie ball is like 4 or 5 years away. But like, if those guys don't play well, what is the plan next year? How do you not just sign Glaber to a reasonable extension? He's 25 years old, hits well the last 2 years because he's played second every day. And today, hitting in the 5 spot, he had 2 really good situational at-bats. He had a sacrifice fly and an RBI groundout. The old Glaber just like hits a pop-up to second base or strikes out. That, to me, is exactly what you want out of Glaber, especially when you have an on-base machine in Soto and Judge hitting 2 and 3. You want Glaber to come up in that situational spot and do his job, as Glaber would say. So to me, if Peraza and Vivas do not impress in spring training and then don't impress this year, particularly on the offensive side, a Glaber extension does not sound crazy to me. Other things to look for, your AAA depth, and that's regardless of what happens if Blake Snell gets added. You obviously want depth. You don't know if Rodon's going to stay healthy. You don't know if Nestor's going to stay healthy. Stroman, certainly not Blake Snell if he's a Yankee or not. You got to watch for Luis Gil, Will Warren, Clayton Beeter, Yoendris Gomez. Those are going to be your depth pieces, and then eventually you have Chase Hampton. But Chase Hampton's for sure going to start the year in Double-A. He just like Spencer Jones, he's well on his way, but he's got to wait. He's not a spring training away from making the major league team. It's just the best case scenario is he plays really well in spring, and that leads to him getting off to a hot start at Double-A. Maybe a quick promotion, and then we'll see from there. Maybe you would get either one of those guys, if not both, sometime in the summer. Here's another thing to look for. Back to the middle infield depth, Oswaldo Cabrera. Oswaldo, it sounds like, is going to spend a lot less time as a switch hitter and possibly transition into being mostly, if not a full-time left-handed hitter. Today, in his game in Clearwater, he did drive a hanging breaking ball to the warning track in right center field. It was an out, but in Yankee Stadium, I believe that would have been a home run. So that's something to watch for if he's fixed it, if he's the old Oswaldo. Because again, if Oswaldo's a solid piece, your number one priority this coming offseason is Juan Soto being a Yankee forever. You want Glaber. But if one of these guys, Peraza, Vivas, or Oswaldo, can suddenly hit, then suddenly the idea of paying Glaber maybe gets canceled out by the possibility of maybe a Corbin Burns, maybe an Alex Bregman, We'll cross that bridge when we come to. I'm fine with a Glaber extension, by the way. Don't get it twisted here. And then finally, the last things to look for are just the fun stuff. Just what's Chase Hampton going to look like? Spencer Jones has been unbelievable. What's Ben Rice going to look like? Lombard Jr. hit a home run to right field. He might be a part of the infield depth in the future. So there you go. Those to me are the main things to look for. All the pitching rotation, for the most part, the bullpen, you kind of have an idea of what you're looking at. And lineup, to me, 1 through 9, you pretty much know who your starters are. To me, Wells is the catcher. To me, that's not even up for debate. And I feel like it's just a matter of what order they're hitting in. It's not really a debate. You kind of know what the bench is going to look like. Grisham is going to be your 4th outfielder. I assume as of right now it's Peraza and Oswaldo on the bench unless we add somebody. And then it's a matter of will Trevino make it back in time? And if not, then Ben Rortvedt is going to start. And if Trevino makes it back in time, then Rortvedt is going to get traded because he's out of options. So that's the thing with a pretty nice roster is there's not a lot to really think about other than just getting used to baseball, getting used to Juan Soto hitting a ball off the scoreboard opposite field, hitting behind Aaron Judge. Seems like we got a fun season coming up, folks. There's going to be plenty more of the Ryan Beck Show now that the season is underway. Hopefully, maybe I'll be on here breaking news about maybe a Blake Snell. I know Jack Curry shattered your dreams and broken hearts today, as Brian McKnight would say. But don't worry. I believe in Jeff Passan. Or I'm wrong. We'll find out soon enough. Oh, Cody Bellinger, by the way. 3 years, $80 million. We couldn't have done that. You wouldn't rather have Bellinger than Stroman and Verdugo? I would. Anyway, that about does it. So it was a quick episode, fun one. Hopefully you guys like it. If you guys have ever worn a hat, I want you to leave 85 comments. And that has nothing to do with an algorithm that makes more people see the video. That has to do with I just want to get to know you, and I love each and every one. See you next time.